Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your instant match reaction. What is going on? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We will be going over on the second channel, which I'll just pin here. You guys can go and have a look. If you want to come watch the Burnley game with me, here it is. Link in the description below, and we can get on with that one together. But yeah, listen. Wow, that was interesting, wasn't it? Absolutely interesting to say the least. Leeds, I thought off it for a lot of it, to be honest with you. That the start of the game was abhorrently bad. Leeds sort of feeling the way into it. But then came just chaos. We had a couple of moments, or they had a couple of moments, I felt, where they started getting on top of Leeds and simply started dominating in certain phases, especially those throw-ins off that right-hand side with the likes of Smith or Smythe, whatever you want to call him, Kenneth Powell. I thought was doing well on the other flank as well. And they started really sort of getting different flick-ons in the area. Frey was getting a lot of flick-ons into the mixer as well. And QPR have been quite profitable from them and causing chaos really in around that 6-yard box, of which they kind of did towards the last 10, 15 minutes of the half as well in that second half. So that was a little bit problematic for me, slightly problematic for me. And then obviously you saw that first goal, of which was comically bad. Brendan Harrison lost the first phase, of which he got bounced off the ball by Kenneth Powell, who just literally shoulder barged him. And if you watch the goal back in that first phase, Harrison just went off. And then in the second phase of play as well, Brendan Harrison receives the ball quite luckily after giving sort of them the advantage in terms of losing that physical battle, that duel with Kenneth Powell. They built up on the left-hand side. Saito had the ball initially. Leeds won it back. Brendan Harrison received the ball and then decided to pass the ball in his own box to Saito, who then wrapped his foot round it. Excellent finish. Maybe questions about Mele's positioning, but I will say for the goalkeeper that he wouldn't have expected that. He simply wouldn't have expected that, because he would have expected a player of the level of which some of the fans have been speaking about to be able to deal with the ball in that situation, starting for Leeds United in a team that's top of the division. So that was slightly confusing, I have to say. Brendan Harrison then gives the ball back. So he's lost 2 phases there, gives the ball back to Saito. Leeds United are 1-0 down within 20 minutes. Then very quickly afterwards, QPR are doing what QPR sort of did towards the back end of the game, which was getting throw-ins, utilising those long throw-ins. We've had Marty Quafentes talk on Coach's Voice about how he beat Daniel Farkavat last time and winning the channel balls and winning the percentages when it comes to aerial duels and ground duels and being able to get leads in certain areas where Leeds don't want to be. The ball was just being siphoned to that left-hand side, which was in Junior Firpo's side and Pascal Strouk's side, and Leeds really struggled to deal with it. They really struggled to deal with it. So then you saw another throw, of which was coming. And before 30 minutes, the ball gets sort of siphoned once again, using that word, to Smythe. Junior Firpo wasn't in position. Smythe had the ball. And what I will say about Firpo is I'm not blaming him that much for that, because what he was trying to do is get up the pitch and get Leeds a little bit of momentum in those forward areas, because Leeds were abhorrently bad in those forward areas. One shot on goal, and it was Joel Peru, who just hit the ball over the bar with a bit of a, sort of lazy effort, I felt, on goal. So anyway, the ball was on that right-hand side. Smythe had all the time in the world to just chip, found Steve Cook, who's in the box, unmarked. Completely unmarked. Steve Cook puts the ball into the back of the net, and Leeds United, inside 29 minutes, are 2-0 down to QPR. And you're thinking, my goodness, this is a worse QPR without Elias Scher, with, in my opinion, a little bit less quality on the pitch in general. They didn't look great. They were utilising a lot of those long throws, set pieces. It wasn't sort of the QPR from last season who, in that game under Cifuentes, were unbelievable. I thought completely played Leeds off the park with Willock and Scher and Co and Anderson. In this game, they were playing the percentages, and Leeds just fell into the trap. We fell through that trap door, and QPR started to dominate. And after that, after the second goal, the ball, the same thing was happening again. The ball was being put into the box. They were dominating when it came to, actually winning these individual battles again. And it has to be said, they were decent. They were decent. So yeah, it has to be said, it's a tricky one. It really is a tricky one to get your head around, that one. And then obviously Leeds came into came back into the game, which we have to talk about in a positive light. We started getting back into it. The ball was played in from Manor Solomon. It was a lovely sort of flicked effort by Junior Firpo. We got some contact on it. Leeds nearly getting an offside on the other side with Bogle sort of been involved in play. But, you know, at the end of the day, Leeds got back into the game, which was fantastic. 2-1. You're going into halftime. It's not been a good performance by Leeds United. And then the actual unthinkable happens, lads and lasses. The unthinkable happens. Daniel Farke makes a halftime substitution. And we're, everyone on the stream, if you didn't catch the watch long, it was brilliant. But everyone was slightly shocked. It has to be said. You know, he made the changes, and we're going to have to go on about this. We're going to have to go on about this. So there is an example, because I know it's all on recency bias. So for everybody who told you, because there have been so many people across social media, creators, all this sort of stuff, some of my friends who've told me, and Daniel Farke actually, who told me that Leeds don't have a specialist number 10. Willian Yonto was Leeds' best player in that second half by a country mile in that number 10. Wonderful weight of pass through, broke the line to Jayden Bogle. He completely caused that second goal. And he was the only player. I was watching QPR commentary, and all they were saying throughout was, he's the danger man. He is the man who's made such a difference to this Leeds United side. It's as if we've not been saying it. It's as if we've been saying it throughout the season. If you have a player who has a good low centre of gravity, who has excellent balance, better ball striking on his left and right foot, and has an eye for a pass, I think, than the opposition player who is playing and has 1 assist and 1 goal in 2020. 2 assists now, because he got 1 for QPR in this game. It's as if we are being led down this garden path that technical footballers who were very, very good at this level can't do what Brendan Aronson did at the start of the season when he was playing wide left and then got brought into central attacking midfield when Jorginho Rutter was sold on. So these players right now, they can't do that. They're not allowed because they're not specialists. So what you saw was Nonto coming on, protecting the ball, using the ball in such an unbelievable way, in my opinion, when it came to body distribution, weight of pass, accuracy, and another level, another stratosphere to what Brendan Aronson was doing in that first half. And in half-wise, that was the best half from a central attacking midfielder we've seen in, could be 7 to 8 weeks. But he's not a specialist 10. Not a specialist 10. Wingers can't play in the number 10. Well, they can. And hopefully that has opened a few eyes, because Brendan Aronson has not been good enough. And if it's based on a meritocracy, at long last, he has been brought out there. And Willian Yonto, I thought in that second half was brilliant, was absolutely brilliant. And I'm really happy for him as well. Really, really happy that, he was able to get into the game and he was able to show a little bit what he was about. Because I thought he was excellent in that sort of second half. So that was really good to see from my perspective. Let's have a look. At least Aronson got assist today. Yeah, well, at least he did. Paul, shout out to you in the member. Early kickoff was struggling. Had to come virtually. Saw no added time there. Horrendous. Yeah, another bit on the added time, mate. You had Burnley. I mentioned this in the watch along. Who got 11 minutes. Burnley got 11 minutes. No, Burnley got 13 minutes midweek. And I obviously know it's circumstantial, but the amount of time the QPR players were on their arse, the amount of time the play was being broken up left, right, and centre, not by Leeds United's fault. No added time. I mean, there was a player sent off and he literally blew the whistle on 96 minutes. There's a player sent off in added time. Burnley had 13 minutes. Sheffield United had 11 minutes added on. Leeds get barely 3 minutes because there's a sending off there. There's a player who went down. There's substitutions. It was embarrassing. The end of that game was some of the worst football I've watched this season. It was so bad based on the fact that it was just foul after foul after foul. The ball must have been in play for 3 minutes of that last 10 to 11 minutes. So bad. But Leeds got back into it. I have to say, I am disappointed. I am disappointed by that. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So yeah, I am disappointed by that. I have to say, I thought in that game in particular, Leeds should have gone and won that game. Leeds should have gone and won that game. We got back into it in around about the 58th, 59th minute. And I just personally thought it was there to be won. They didn't look great. We had loads of opportunities on that left-hand side, which was excellent. I thought the pockets were playing really, really well in. And I thought the one thing that Leeds struggled with today was the balls into the box. There were some excellent balls coming in. Bogle, lovely flighted balls in. Junior Firpo actually beating that first man on the overlap when it comes to the drilled balls in, playing it back onto the penalty spot. You actually had Malo Solomon putting some really decent left-footed balls in as well. But there's no striker there. No striker. Peru's positioning today was all off. He had a poor game. I thought he had a really poor game. And you're looking at those balls into the box, and a top striker is absolutely eating those chances up. All the balls coming in, and you're thinking to yourself, he's got to get on the end of one of them. But even drilled balls, floated balls in, just not being et up, which I found a bit confusing, to be honest with you. But yeah, it didn't happen for Joel Peru all today, and it was a little bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, the defending as well. I think we have to touch on the defending today, everybody, before we get into a couple of your comments. It just wasn't great, was it? It really wasn't great. I felt it was every time the ball came into the box, we looked vulnerable. That's how I felt. I didn't feel like we were able to really get anything going. And I thought Strout looked poor today, and Rodon was excellent. And, if we look at it this season, if we're honest with each other this season, I'm a big Pascal Strout fan. Pascal Strout, I think, has been sort of leveled up by Joe Rodon, which I thought I'd never say. I think Joe Rodon has been the better centre-back this season. I think Pascal looks a little bit rattled, if I'm honest with you. But I actually think Joe Rodon has been that good this season that he fully deserves the sort of bolstering up by Leeds fans, to be honest with you. I thought he was really, really good. Let's keep getting your comments in the section below, everybody. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. What did you think about the game? And we'll get into the player ratings in just a second. Riley says, we all wanted 3 points from it, but we avoided disaster in a fixture that has given us problems. We couldn't cope with the physicality. FFS is in the building saying virtually we saw no added time there. Yeah, man, I agree. It was really poor. It has to be said, Connor, you did well to come back. Fair play to you. And hopefully, Dave, I know you were Blade, but that's going to be the statement that we needed, really. That's going to be the statement. But we did have a few problems today. I thought defensively we did not look good at all. We couldn't deal with that throw-in or the corners. I thought they looked... There's a couple of last-ditch tackles in there from Jimmy Dunn, from Frey. There was last-ditch tackles. But Leeds did show character to come back into it. I'm just a bit annoyed that Sheffield United have won down there. I believe Burnley have won down there as well. They've lost 4 on the bounce as well. And I understand Leeds is a big game. They sold out today, didn't they, QPR? And they looked like they were right up for it. The time wasting when they've got nothing to play for. I understand you want to win games, but how they were going about it was if it was, the last thing they're ever going to do. So, it struggled today. I thought. Connor, I called Nonto as a 10 way before you realised it. Remember when I was on your live? Well done, Kim. Well done, I guess. Well done. But yeah, this is on. Johnny says, sorry, mate, I just lost you there. Spot on about Nonto. Connor proves Farker is clueless. I wouldn't say he's clueless or anything. I mean, today, another one. I thought Rothwell, and this Brownie was talking about this the other night when we were doing the stream. Brownie was talking about he thinks it's Rothwell and or Gruev or Tanaka. I agree with him. We all love Tanaka. Tanaka's, the brilliant Japanese, exquisite, elegant football player. Joe Rothwell is the one who is trying to break the lines there. Joe Rothwell is going to try and get the ball and try and make things happen. Joe Rothwell looks like he's the one in that midfield who is not letting it affect him a little bit. I thought Tanaka's percentages today, and we'll get on into this in the player ratings and stuff like that, and I might be proven wrong, but the eye test for me said that Al Tanaka, I thought, was the worst of the two. And I think there's been a fair few situations, especially in the last 2 months, where Rothwell's been the better player, guys. Not a popular decision because people love Tanaka and Rothwell's a lone player, even though the same standards aren't being said for like Ramazani in comparison to Solomon. But when you actually look at it, Rothwell's been better than him, in my opinion. Rothwell's been better than him. He's dictated a lot of it. And yeah, that's how I'm at. Chris in the building. I know he's a blade. No easy games at the end of the season, Connor. It's great to keep it close till the end of the season. I agree, mate. Paul Gambino says, I'll say it again. I'm 100% certain that supporting Leeds United is a social experiment in how much emotional, mental, mate. If any of you guys saw that first half of the watch, in fact, don't go back and watch it. Please. Dimka says, best midfield combo right now, Gruev, Tanaka, and no, I completely disagree. Completely disagree with that. Completely disagree with that. In what world, mate? In what world is Tanaka coming out of that for? That's what I don't understand. There's only one man there. I think Tanaka lost the ball a fair few times in that midfield to Anderson, who was harrying at him. And there might be more of a focus from the opposition on Tanaka because we know he's a ball-orientated player who dictates things. But Joe Rothwell was the better player there for me, mate. Shez, what does Ramazani offer? Fresh legs maybe every time we rakes. Shez, he's on for 8 minutes, mate. And with the greatest of respect, mate, I feel like you would be one of them who would be saying the same about Nonto, with the greatest of respect. And maybe Joseph as well. But how can these players prove anything if they're not given minutes, mate? Nonto, I was getting told on my streams yesterday, the day before that football's subjective, but I can disagree with you. And that's what I'm doing now, pal. But all I was saying, and I've said for months, put Willian Yonto, put Ramazani, put Solomon, one of them in the 10 over Brendan Aronson, because they're all better footballers. And in that number 10, you get more of the ball and you are more decisive in that number 10. They've all got good balance, all good with both feet, all have better shot efficiency than Brendan Aronson. But I keep getting told that wingers can't play in the 10. And I'm so happy we've just seen that there, because a lot of people now, some people do mental gymnastics because they actually have this weird Aronson agenda, but I have an agenda for Leeds United. I want Leeds United to get promoted. I don't care about certain players. I want them to do well, but I'm a Leeds United fan. Brendan Aronson has not been good enough for a while now. And I think you've had Joe Rothwell in the previous Leeds game facilitating Brendan Aronson in terms of him driving forward and enabling the space to be opened up for Brendan Aronson. But his effectiveness, one goal in 2025, it's not been spoken about enough. It's just nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. But I agree, the midfield wasn't great today, but we can't. Are we talking about Tanaka being worse than Rothwell today, really? Ramazani jams in the building. He's on for 7-8 minutes, so doesn't make the impact. Give him more time. Look at Nonto today, for example. That's kind of where I'm at, mate, with it, to be honest. You kind of look at Nonto as the example. Josh says, relax, good point, chill out. Rothwell, there's been definitely a point drop-off. Rothwell won you the game against Sunderland. His set pieces are probably your biggest asset when chasing him. Yeah, I didn't think his set pieces were great today. Dino's in the building saying, loving your visuals today. Ultra professional. Thanks, mate. Are you guys enjoying that as well? Thank you. We had record numbers on the watch song, so looks like you guys are enjoying it. This has been a big process for me to get all this sorted. So hopefully you're liking this anyway. So let's have a quick look at the player rating, shall we? So I just wanted to focus on a couple in particular. Let's have a look at let's have a quick look at some of the Leeds players. So Elan Melee on this one has been given a 6.3. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. 2 saves, 1 clearance, 13 long balls. I think he was all right today, Melee. Jaden Bogle was given a 7.5. Accurate passes, 23. 33 passes, and obviously got his goal, didn't he? Got his goal, and I think he grew into it, did Bogle. Furpo on the other side, I don't know, a bit of an on and off game, but as the ratings say here, a 7. Jules won 10, which is really excellent numbers. Now, this will be interesting. Pascal got 7 as well. Now, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Hey, Arnold, thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, cheers, Josh, as well, buddy. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, Pascal, I didn't think I had a good game today. But there we go. Jules won 10, clearance is 7. I thought Joe was the better player, and Joe got a better rating as well. So there you go, 7.1. I thought Rothwell, Rodon was excellent today. DJ, 6.8. Didn't think he was great today. 26 passes, 47 touches, accurate passes, 16. Rothwell, this will be interesting. See, 7.2. That's got him as one of the better Leeds players today. One of the better Leeds players. So what do you guys think on that in the comment section below? I am going to go Yeah, 710 people watching, 119 likes. We've got 1,400 on all platforms, everybody. Please make sure you slap a like on the video. I hope you're enjoying the new format. We are going to be doing the Burn the Game. We're going over and doing the Burn the Game on the Conor McGilligan channel. Come join me and we'll go through all this together. And then we've got the fan forum back at 7. Come join me, all right? Go on over there, everybody. Conor McGilligan is that. Let me just whack it in the chat as well, because some of you guys are like, where is it, Conor? There you go, lads and lasses. Come join me for the Burn the Game in about 10 minutes. And we'll carry on this lovely sort of outlet of just whinging about Leeds over there. Peru, I didn't think was great today. Is the data backing that up? Yes, probably one of the worst players today for Leeds there. 3 shots, 34 touches. That seems low. Brendan Aronson for 45 minutes, 6 rating, the lowest on the Leeds team by a considerable amount. I mean, you look at, oh God, I really hope that's open his eyes. I really hope that's open Farke's eyes there, man. Solomon, 6.9. I thought he did all right today, Solomon. He grew into it. What I liked on that left-hand side as well, the whip balls in were really excellent. Not so much on the right-hand side, but on the left-hand side in particular. Ramzani, yeah, 6. I mean, he's had 6 minutes, lads. This is what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm saying, everyone, when a lot of you are criticising him. How? What do you do? What do you do? And I'm hoping that Nonto was a bit of an example of, if you give them more minutes, the lads just don't have like bad attitude problems or they're bad football players. Football isn't linear. Put them in, give them an actual a couple of minutes, and you never know what can happen. Tanaka today, 6.8, below Rothwell. That's exactly how I'd have scored it. I thought Rothwell was the better Leeds player today. That's why I'm quite surprised by some of you who are saying you thought Tanaka was the better player or he should be starting. And Willie Nonto here, he should be high rated. 6.5, but I guess he only had 44 minutes, didn't he? But as you can see there, 1 total shot. Obviously, we're going to give him a key pass, by the way. We're giving him that key pass for that Bogle chance as well. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I thought he was really good today, but you don't get it all right, dear. But as you can see there, 10 shots for Leeds, 3 on target, but they were in the game. They were massively in the game. You look at some of their top-rated players in the midfield, Edwards and Colback. With the better players, Saito with that unbelievable finish, and Frey as well. I mean, he looked like Michael, didn't he? Michael from what's it called? Hot Fuzz. We kept saying it in the stream. The one who goes yarp. They had him and Uncle Fester in the midfield, the referee. So yeah, not ideal for Leeds United. I don't know. We lost, moaning just for the sake of it. Are you talking to me, mate? I don't know if you're talking to me. I'm not moaning. Rama nearly cost us the 3rd goal at the end. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, we could literally go through every single goal and nitpick who lost the ball. Strouk nearly cost us one at the end as well. Tanaka lost the ball and then they went through on goal and it got blocked by Strouk on the goal, 9 off on the goal line, and it went out for a corner. That was Tanaka, So we have to kind of attribute the same standards for everybody in here. Passes going astray, shocking corners, trying to walk the ball in. Yeah, it wasn't good. But you know what the thing is, everyone? We got a point. That's how we got to look at it now. We got a point. Leeds win their home games, 95 points. Well, we're on now 80 points, aren't we? So we've got that 80-point margin. Cheers, Chris. Well, I don't know, mate. I don't know. If we get promoted, Rams will be a start 100%. He's got all the credentials. Solomon in the 10, Nonto moving to the right and Largy on the left. There's an option. Rather see the pro in the 10 at the minute. This is the thing. This is why I will be honest, everyone. He irritated me yesterday when he's going, I don't have the specialist number 10. Mate, you didn't have a specialist number 10 at Norwich. You played Marco Stiepermann in the 10, who was a left back. You didn't play a number 10. It wasn't a natural specialist number 10. You are doing this this Aronson thing to death when you have some of the best attacking players in the division. But we keep getting told, apparently, that we had to go and get a number 10. Had to go and get a number 10. Yeah, it's so nice to actually see Nonto coming in and doing that, because he was the best player in the second half. And actually been so involved for that second goal. And as I say, QPR commentary, we're all saying he's made the biggest difference here. So you're actually seeing it. You're actually seeing in the number 10 he can do it. Did it against Sheffield Wednesday earlier on in the season at Hillsborough. He was excellent in the number 10. But for some reason, people have forgotten that. I don't know why. And you saw Ramazani in the number 10 against Sheffield United at Ellen Road. He was very good there as well. But for some reason, people have forgotten that. and people just glaze Brendan Aronson, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I like Brendan. I want Brendan to do well, but I'm a Leeds fan. I'm not Brendan Aronson FC. I'm a Leeds fan. So ultimately, if we can get better in certain areas, and it can be anyone, by the way, that's why when Gruev's in there, and I'll say on here, I'll say, look, for me, he's okay for certain games, but against Portsmouth away from home, and then you look at him against Sheffield United away from home, I thought he was really bad. I didn't think he was good enough. I know he cleared one off the line, Sheffield United, I get that, but I thought his overall game, he got absolutely bossed in that midfield by Sidney Peck. So that's why I thought there should have been a change. Rothwell comes in. I didn't think it was Rothwell's greatest game today, but he was the better one of the midfield pairing. You guys, your judgment, for me, it's got to be based on your meritocracy as well. You know, you can't just pick your favourites. You can't, you know, and who you kind of want to see in there. You've kind of got to flick it up sometimes and think just because Daniel Farke's delivering it, as much as I think Farke's done an unbelievable job, it doesn't mean just because he's saying it, that is how it is. You know, I do encourage definitely you guys to be a little bit critical thinkers as well, I think, on this channel, and you guys do the same to me as well. Shout out to you, Paul. I'll see you then after half an hour, but I think it was a must not lose rather than a must not win. Keep up the good win. I agree with you, mate, and I'm annoyed at it. I'm definitely annoyed at it because now we have to have 2 weeks of sort of getting over that. And the first half an hour put us in a grave, didn't it? It put us in a grave, and it's another poor start from Leeds United. Poor start against Sunderland. Poor start against Sheffield United. Good start the other night. Poor start against West Bromwich Albion. Poor start against Portsmouth. Poor start against QPR. They've not been good starts. We're giving ourselves a lot to do from being in a position where we were such quick starters before all of this. So, yeah, a point away is better than losing. I completely agree. Telly's in the building. Hi, Telly. 2 gifted goals, 2 wasted points. Poor team selection given. 3 game in 6. DJ absolutely knackered. Hoofball continues to trouble. Take the point, but we should have been through without breaking a sweat. It should have been. This is a team, once again, this is why everybody, it's like, you know, this constant thing of be happy, it's a point. That's copium. It's copium because QPR have lost 4 on the bounce. They've got nothing to play for. Portsmouth, okay, nothing to play for. I understand games are going to be hard, but these 2 teams have got nothing to play for. When we come up against Luton, who have something to play for, okay, when we come up against Borough, we don't know what their playoff situation is going to be. I don't think they'll quite get there, but we know it's going to be sold out, Derby-esque settings for those guys. We're going to have to be up for that as well. We cannot be starting games like this. We cannot be starting games like this. This is the overall takeaway. It's the overall takeaway from this. Leeds have to be starting these games better and more effectively and more professionally. And I agree at 12:30, I think this excuse, mind my French, is a load of bollocks. I think the tempo, the team talk, what is it? I mean, Ampadu's there with them. He's not on the pitch with them, but he's captain in the dressing room. I thought we looked like we missed him today with a little bit of bite in that midfield. But, you know, this early kickoff thing has been in place when Ampadu's been there as well. You know, wasn't great last season either, was it? So it needs to be a lot better. It needs to be a lot better. But we leave it there, everybody. We're going to go over now and do the Burnley game. If you guys want to join in, come over. The link is in the chats right now. And we're going to be over there. We're going to be back tonight with the fan reaction as well, talking through the game. I want all of your opinions over there, everyone, as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you like before you leave, and we'll see you on the Burnley stream.